Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Jason, your host, and as always, I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Julia.
Hey, Jason. Hello, everyone. We're so happy you're joining us today. If you're someone who understands English pretty well but just can't seem to speak it, then this episode is just for you.
Yes, that's such a common problem. We hear this all the time from English learners. I can understand English when I read or listen, but when I try to speak, I freeze.
Exactly. You're not alone. This is something millions of learners experience. It can be frustrating. You might know the words in your head, but they just won't come out when you need them.
So today, we're going to talk about why this happens, what's really going on in your brain, and most importantly, how to fix it. We'll share simple ideas, real-life examples, and easy tips that you can start using right away.
Whether you're a beginner or someone who's been learning for years, we want to help you turn your English understanding into confident speaking.
So, grab your headphones, get comfortable, and let's dive into today's episode, I Can Understand, but I Can't Speak. So, let's begin by asking the big question. Why can so many English learners understand a lot, but still can't speak?
That's such an important question. And honestly, Jason, the first reason is fear. Many learners are afraid of making mistakes or sounding silly. They worry that people will laugh at them or not understand them.
Yes, and that fear makes them stay quiet, even when they know what they want to say. I've seen students freeze just because they weren't sure about grammar or pronunciation.
Exactly. It's like the brain says, you understand this, but don't try to speak unless you're 100% sure. And that stops learning. Mistakes are normal. They're how we grow.
Another reason is lack of speaking practice. Many learners study grammar, read books, and watch videos, but they don't practice speaking regularly. And speaking is a skill. You have to use it often.
Right. Listening and reading are input, but speaking is output, and it's harder because you must think fast and produce language on the spot.
Some learners know hundreds of English words, but they've never actually said them out loud. That's like knowing how to swim from watching videos, but never getting into the water.
Great example. Another reason is something we call the silent period. This happens when learners understand a lot of English but haven't yet started using it actively. It's a normal stage, but if it lasts too long, it becomes a habit.
Yes, and many learners get stuck in that silent stage because they wait until their English is perfect. But it will never be perfect, and it doesn't need to be. Speaking early and often is the key.
Also, think about classroom learning. Many learners spend years in classes focused on writing and grammar, but very little on speaking. So they understand English on paper, but not in conversation.
Exactly. So if you're listening and you've been wondering, why can I understand but not speak? Remember, it's not because you're bad at English. It's because speaking is a different skill, and it just needs more practice.
And the good news? You can change it. Step by step, you can turn your understanding into real speaking ability.
Coming up next, we'll share some real-life examples that many of you will recognize and talk about how it feels to be stuck in that silent stage. Now let's talk about something really important. How it feels when you can understand English but can't speak it. Because we know this problem isn't just about language. It's about confidence, too.
Yes, it can feel really frustrating. I remember one of my students from Brazil. Her listening skills were amazing. She could understand everything I said in class. But when I asked her a question, she would freeze and say, I don't know how to say it.
That's so common. I had a student from Afghanistan who could watch English movies without subtitles and understand most of the story. But when we had a speaking activity in class, he would avoid talking. He told me, The words are in my mind, but my mouth can't say them.
And I've felt that way too, Jason. When I was learning Spanish, I understood my teacher perfectly, but when I tried to speak, I got nervous. My mind went blank. I was afraid of looking foolish.
Yes, that's the key. Many learners feel stuck. They want to speak. They know the words, but fear and pressure make everything harder. And then they start saying things like, maybe I'm not good at speaking.
But that's not true at all. Speaking is just a skill like riding a bike or playing a musical instrument. You won't be perfect at first. You have to fall a few times before you find your balance.
Absolutely. And the sad part is, many learners blame themselves. They think, something's wrong with me. I study so much, but I still can't speak. But really, they just haven't had enough speaking practice in a safe, low-pressure environment.
So if you're listening and you feel this way, stuck, nervous, or even embarrassed, just know you're not alone and you're not bad at English. You just need a new way to build your confidence and practice speaking more often.
Coming up next, we're going to break down how your brain learns to speak and why understanding and speaking are two very different things. Let's dig a little deeper now and talk about the science behind speaking. Why is it that we can understand a language but still have trouble speaking it?
That's a fascinating topic. So, the brain actually uses different areas for understanding and speaking. Listening and reading happen in one part of the brain, mainly the areas responsible for input. But speaking happens in another part, one that handles output and muscle coordination.
Exactly. When you listen, your brain processes information passively. But when you speak, you have to think, form a sentence, recall vocabulary, apply grammar, and control your mouth muscles, all at the same time.
It's like a performance. And it takes time for your brain to connect all those steps smoothly. That's why you may understand a sentence in English but struggle to produce one quickly.
Here's something cool. Scientists call this process automaticity. That means your brain learns to do something automatically, without thinking too hard. But to reach that point, you need lots of repetition and real use.
Yes, and just like driving a car, at first you have to think about every move, brake, signal, turn. But after practice, it becomes natural. Speaking English works the same way.
Also, when we listen, we often have more time. We can pause or replay something, but when we speak, there's pressure to respond right away, and that stress can block your brain from working smoothly.
So if you've been wondering, why can't I speak even though I understand? Remember, it's because your brain hasn't developed those speaking pathways yet, but with the right kind of practice, you can build them.
That's right. It's not about intelligence or talent. It's about training your brain and your mouth to work together. And that's what we're going to help you with in the next part.
Coming up, we'll share the most common blocks that stop people from speaking and how to break through them one by one.
Let's talk about something really powerful now, fear. Fear is one of the biggest reasons people don't speak, even when they understand English very well.
Yes, fear can be so strong. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of people judging you. Fear of forgetting words or not saying something correctly.
And that fear usually starts in school, where many learners are corrected for every little error. So they start thinking, if I'm not perfect, I shouldn't speak.
That mindset is dangerous because it kills confidence. But the truth is, mistakes are part of learning. Everyone who speaks English fluently today, every single one of them made lots of mistakes while learning.
Absolutely. Think about babies. When they learn to speak, they don't care about grammar. They say what they can. They make mistakes, but they keep going. That's how they improve. by trying.
And you know what? Most native English speakers will understand you, even if your grammar isn't perfect. They appreciate the effort. They're not expecting you to speak like a news anchor.
That's right. And here's something important. You don't need perfect English to be a good speaker. You just need to be clear, natural, and confident. That's what people really respond to.
One tip I always share is speak even when you're not ready, because waiting to be perfect only makes you wait forever. Start small, use simple words, and speak with pride.
Yes, and celebrate the small wins. If you introduce yourself, order a coffee, or ask a question in English, that's success. Don't ignore those moments. They show progress.
So let's all agree on this. We won't let fear stop us anymore. Let's choose courage over perfection.
Coming up next, we'll give you some simple, practical techniques to start speaking more every day, even if you don't have a speaking partner. Now, let's get practical. If you understand English but can't speak it yet, what can you actually do to change that? Well, here are some simple speaking activities you can do every day, even alone.
Yes, these tips are great for learners who don't have a speaking partner or teacher around. Let's start with one of my favorites, shadowing. That means listening to a sentence in English and repeating it out loud right after, like a shadow.
Exactly. You can do this with podcasts, movies, or YouTube videos. Just pause after each sentence and repeat what you hear. It helps you improve pronunciation, rhythm, and fluency.
And it trains your mouth to work with your mind. You'll start speaking more naturally without even thinking about grammar rules.
Another great activity is describing your day in English. For example, say out loud, "I'm brushing my teeth now. I'm getting ready for work. I'm cooking lunch." It sounds simple, but it's powerful.
That's such a useful tip, Jason. You're teaching your brain to think in English during real-life situations, and that builds automatic speaking habits.
You can also try mirror practice. Stand in front of the mirror and speak about any topic: your favorite food, your plans, your childhood. Watch your expressions and get comfortable with your own voice in English.
That's one of the best ways to build confidence. You become your own speaking coach, and you'll notice where you get stuck so you can improve.
Here's another tip. Record yourself speaking. Pick a topic, speak for 1 minute, and then listen to it. You'll hear your strengths and the areas you can work on. Over time, you'll hear real progress.
Absolutely. And if you're shy, don't worry. You don't have to share it with anyone. It's just for you. Think of it like keeping a speaking diary.
The key is speak every single day, even for 5 minutes. Don't wait for a perfect moment or a partner. Create those speaking moments for yourself.
Coming up, we'll talk about how to create an English-speaking environment, even if you live in a non-English-speaking country.
So now let's focus on something very important: how to practice speaking alone. Because a lot of our listeners tell us, "I don't have anyone to talk to in English."
And that's okay. You can actually make amazing progress by speaking to yourself. It may feel strange at first, but it really works. Your brain doesn't care who you talk to. It just wants practice.
Exactly. One easy method is to start your day by talking about your plans. For example, say, "Today I will go to the market. I need to buy vegetables. Then I'll study English for 1 hour."
Or you can do a daily summary at night. Just talk about what you did. I woke up early. I studied for my test. I cooked lunch. I watched an English video. It's a simple way to review your day and build your speaking skills.
Here's another idea. Ask yourself questions. Pretend you're in a job interview or having a chat with a friend. Ask, "What do you like to do in your free time?" Then answer it in English.
That's such a fun one. You can even make a list of questions like, what's your favorite food? Where do you want to travel? What was your best childhood memory? These topics help you speak naturally, like in real conversations.
And don't forget, you can use your phone to record yourself. Choose a topic, speak for 1 minute, then listen and reflect. It's a great way to notice your progress over time.
Also, label things in your home. Put a sticker on your mirror that says mirror. On your desk, write desk. Then when you walk by, say the words out loud. It builds vocabulary with spoken practice.
So even if you're alone, your house can become your speaking classroom. And the more you do this, the more confident and fluent you'll become.
Next, we'll talk about how to build a routine and stay consistent, because daily practice is the secret to fluency.
Let's share some free tools and resources that can help you practice speaking, even if you're on a tight budget.
Yes, one of the best resources is, you guessed it, YouTube. There are so many English-speaking practice channels where you can repeat after the teacher, join conversations, or follow pronunciation tips.
Another great tool is language learning apps like Duolingo, BBC Learning English, Hello Talk, and Tandem. With Hello Talk and Tandem, you can actually connect with native speakers or learners and practice through voice notes.
Also, don't forget Google Translate and text-to-speech tools. Type a sentence in English and listen to how it's pronounced. Then repeat it. It's like having a mini speaking coach in your pocket.
And of course, podcasts, just like this one. Listen, pause, repeat, and shadow us. You'll be surprised how much your speaking improves by just following along.
The internet is full of free help. You just have to use it regularly. And remember, speaking practice doesn't have to cost money, just time and a little courage.
Coming up, how to stay motivated when results feel slow, and how to keep going when you feel stuck. Before we wrap up today's episode, we've got a quick challenge for you. This is your chance to practice what you've learned.
Here's your challenge. For the next 24 hours, we want you to talk to yourself in English for 5 minutes a day. It could be about anything, your plans, your thoughts, or even describing something you see.
And don't just think about it, say it out loud. It's important to hear your own voice speaking English. Remember, this is your time to practice speaking without fear.
We'll be waiting for you to share your progress. Try it out. And in our next episode, we'll talk about how to keep building on this habit.
Good luck, and remember, every bit of practice counts. We'll see you next time. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to remind you that learning to speak English is a journey, and it's completely normal to face challenges along the way. But remember, you are not alone in this process.
That's right. Every learner has been in your shoes. It takes time, patience, and persistence. Don't be discouraged by the mistakes. Every mistake is a step forward. You're learning, and that's what counts.
Exactly. You've already got the most important part, the understanding. Now, the key is to build your confidence and start speaking. Even if it feels uncomfortable at first, keep practicing, and you will improve.
Just think of all the conversations you will be able to have one day, whether it's chatting with a friend, giving a presentation, or traveling the world. All of this is possible with consistent practice.
Let's recap the key points from today's episode. First, understanding English is great, but speaking takes practice. We talked about the science behind speaking and why it's normal to feel a gap between understanding and speaking.
We also discussed how fear can stop you from speaking, but with the right mindset, mistakes are okay, you'll find confidence. And we gave you practical activities like shadowing, mirror practice, and speaking to yourself every day.
And remember, tools like YouTube, language apps, and podcasts are your friends. Use them to get better every day. Plus, don't forget to take up the challenge of speaking English for 5 minutes a day for the next 24 hours.
Yes, it's all about taking those small steps forward. Don't expect perfection. Expect progress. The more you speak, the more natural it becomes.
And we're here to support you every step of the way. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and celebrate every victory, big or small. You've got this.
Thank you so much for listening. Keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next episode of the English Learning Podcast. Stay confident and keep speaking.